Alright, so if you watch my previous videos, you'll have seen I made this cabinet for that top shelf. Well, now is the time to do this bottom shelf and do a cabinet for there. But as in the previous one, I've got to clear this shelf. Some of it I'm going to keep to go back in, some I'm not. By that I mean the grinder and the detail sander are going to go into storage. I doubt that I will put all of this back into the new cabinet. I'm actually thinking of how and where I can store the clamps. Oh, and I have to point out that I started filming this on my birthday, and that means I've got a new tool. I took the plunge and got a track saw. I did look at the Makita track saw so that I didn't need to worry about the battery platform, but it was out of my price range, the price range. So I looked at the Einhell and I watched a few positive reviews on it, and I decided that that was the one. I have watched a lot of other creators use track saws and they have the foam underneath to protect any surface, but for what I was doing it made the plywood a bit slippy. So should I take the silver surface off the foam? Let me know in the comments. I have to say that the dust extraction is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. I need to work out how or where to place the vacuum hose, as it did catch a couple of times on the actual track. This time I'm using glue and nails, unlike the last time when I used pocket holes. It makes the job a lot easier and quicker to complete. I know that it does look like a lot of effort with the clamps and squares, but at least they made sure that I got all of the pieces in the right places and they were all at 90 degrees. I have to admit that when I'm filming a build like this, it's not always easy to know where to put the cameras for the best shots. When it comes to checking the footage, there is usually one of the cameras that has the best overall view, and I'll mostly use that footage. Then the other camera may pick up a good view so every so often, so it's just using that the here and there. When it came to putting the top on, I just applied the glue to the side pieces and then clamped it in place before nailing it down. However, in the end I found that with it being the last piece to nail down, that it was best to nail one end and then stretch out the far side and nail that down straight away. Once the ends were done, I could concentrate on making sure the dividers were set correctly and secured them in place. In order to put the shelves in place, I cut some 5mm ply into strips so I could attach them to the sides and screw them in. This way that in the future, if I want to change position of the shelves, it was easier to remove the screws than it was trying to remove nails. But I reckon you knew that anyway. Now I'm measuring for the door, and it's a good job that I didn't cut the door when I was doing the rest of the cuts, because the measurements were out a little bit. I did cut 2 bits, but the reason for that will become clear. Yep, I'm putting my carved logo on the door, or rather I should say I'm insetting it into the door. By the way, a link to the carving video is in the description. As I'm insetting it into the door, that is why I cut 2 pieces for the door so it could be layered. To cut out the part of the logo, I dug out my jigsaw, which is a cheap one from the big box store, and I've had it for at least 10 years. Maybe I should look for a new one. But as I don't use it that much, then I'm out of practice using it, so trying to follow the line, I did find it a couple of times being a bit awkward. I just want to take some time to thank the customer support team at KNF Concepts, as one of the camera stands I use is called a magic arm. When I'm filming things like the drill press, I use it there. It decided not to function correctly, so I contacted the service team and sent a video of what was happening. They advised that they were going to send a replacement item in the post. Now, I did think it was just going to be a small part, but they sent me a brand new magic arm. So it just goes to show that great customer services is not dead. Before I glued the logo in, I decided to work on the hinges. I am using Euro hinges, or as we call them, hinges. I did watch a couple of videos on how it was best to do these, but maybe I forgot something, and I'll mention what I did wrong later on. Because of the way I was working on these, it was a bit awkward, and I think that I may have not got the top hinge quite square. Bugger. And now it's time to glue the logo into place, then to put the cabinet into its place, but we aren't finished yet. Because I kept some of the power tools on the shelf, I thought that I would make some modular units to store a couple of them in. As they are modular, I can add another couple of these at any time. Also, if I don't use the tools anymore, I can just get rid of those ones or even reuse them. What do you think of this idea? Second cabinet built and installed with the door with my logo on, which was obviously in the previous video or in a previous video. And I've also made these for some of the tools, which are little modules. And the beauty with these is if I change these or if I don't use them as much, I can just either put something else in or make new ones. If you've enjoyed this video and you haven't seen the first video where I made this cabinet using pocket holes, then check it out, link just there. And until next time, Gang Canny Man.